Hi, I'm Joe Edzicki, inventor of the Revolution, and I'd like to be the first to congratulate you on your new Supersonic. Let's get you set up and in the air. To set up your line sets, carefully take off your shock cord that's holding everything in place, and carefully take off your lines. This is a great place to add tangles and twists, so be careful. Unwrap about 2 feet of lines. Separate the two pairs, and notice at this time we have a red pair and a black and white pair. I like to use the red pair on the right because both red and right start with the letter R. And we use the black on the bottom because black and bottom both start with the letter B. Slide the pair apart, do one pair at a time. The white goes on top, attach it with a lark's head. Put your fingers through, fold them over, and pinch it together. This forms that lark's head loop to go on your line. The white goes on the top. Attach that to the top of the handle. And do the same on the bottom. Put your fingers through, fold it over, pinch it. There's your loop. Attach it to the bottom. Do the same for your other handle. You can attach your line to the handle at different points depending on the wind conditions. So in high winds, you can move the line out toward the end, and this will slow your rev down. In lighter winds, move it forward, move it in toward the tip, and this will allow you to launch your rev more easily. Put your stake in, put your left handle on the left side, and your right handle on the right side. Put the top of the handle at the stake, not the bottom of the handle. The top of the handles. All right, let's wind our lines out. Some people just slop them out and just snap out when they go out. I don't like to do that because I like to avoid tangles. So I like to take my time on this part. If you do get a little confusion on it, just take your time and get them all running off evenly again. Then I hold on to them and walk them out nice and smoothly. Now when you get down to the end of your line sets, we're in the same situation. We've got our 2 pairs. So take those 2 pairs off, put your winder in your pocket, and now separate those pairs, and we have our handle staked so you can just spread them, and this will basically eliminate any tangles that you have all the way down to your handles. Don't worry about twist at this time, just spread them apart in your lines. It takes a little bit longer, but walk back to your handle set, take them off, spread them apart, and see that all 4 lines are clear here. Put them back on your stake, run your fingers between the sets, and then just walk it back out to your kite. Okay, now we're ready to set up our wing. Set it down, unroll it, and take your down struts out. Put those off to the side, open up your wing, and keep the leading edge into the wind. Now come over to one wing, and we're going to insert our leading edge and connect it at the ferrule. It's connected to the center shaft of the ferrule so you can feel it. You have to guide it on, and then make sure it clicks all the way in. If it doesn't, you can break that shaft, so make sure you get it all the way in. Then come out to the end, attach your end cap. Make sure that there's no twists or wraps on it, and you're ready to go. Do the same on the other side. This is how your leading edge looks inside of your wing. You have the ferrule section, and your shaft fits over, and then clicks together. If you're not sure if your shaft is completely assembled, you can take the whole leading edge out of your rev, assemble it outside, and then slide it all the way back in again. Then you'll be sure. To finish your build, flip your wing over. Remember, keep that leading edge into the wind. Now we're on the back of the wing. We have 4 shafts, 2 long, 2 short, 1 pair on each side. The long one goes to the inside of the wing. Put the top cap on the back of the wing. On the bottom, take the shock cord, put it over the shaft, then pull the cap, make sure it's clear, and put the cap on the shaft. This bungee over the shaft helps support the sail. Now the short shaft. Into the leading edge cap. Bungee over the cap. Clear your cord, your cap, put your cap on, and wings done, do the other side. Now with your Supersonic assembled and your line sets cleared, grab that leading edge again, controlling it into the wind, walk forward and set your wing down over your lines. Give yourself a couple feet here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tilt the wing up, the wind will hold it down against us, and we have our line pair. Notice they're still larks headed together. This helps us avoid tangles. Now slide it off one pair at a time. The white goes on the top. We're gonna do our lark's head and attach the top. The top is actually down here because the wing is resting leading edge down. Do the same with the bottom line, black for bottom. Here's your bridle point, cinch it down. Do the same on the other side. For a more detailed explanation of the line setup, go to our line management video here. Now take your Supersonic and control that leading edge again into the wind and step back to tension your lines against your stake. And what you're going to want to do is, in high winds, your rev can actually self-launch by itself, so it's important to tilt these wings underneath and back like that. This way, the wind is holding your rev down on the ground. Let's go back to the handles and launch your rev. Here's the launch sequence for your Supersonic. Grab the handles, step back. We need all four lines tight. If the lines are tight, this is not right. Bring those handles even together. Now we have one loose line, so now we want to step back, tightening that line. We want all four lines tight. Thumbs on top. If you're in high winds, you can shift down the handle to help slow your rev down. Thumbs on top. Our goal is to launch our rev, stop it, and bring it right back down almost instantly. We're only going up a few feet. We don't want to shoot up 30, 40 feet, get out of control, and come crashing down. We want to learn the basic control, and the basic control is about wrist and handle rotation. So what we want to do is we're going to launch, stop it, and back it down. That's a simple motion. Up, stop, back it down. It looks like this. Lines tight. Thumbs back, up, stop, back it down. See how fast that happened? Here we go. Up, stop, back it down. We're just trying to get a feel for that handle rotation. Keep those thumbs forward, keep your rev on the ground. All right, let's look at a couple possibilities on your first launch. Lines are tight, thumbs back. Okay, that wasn't bad. It was off the ground, came down, but it was a little on the weak side. So we either need to let those, bring those lines in to give us a little more forward launch, or we need to be a little more aggressive on that launch. All right, let's try another one. Lines tight, thumbs back. Okay, that was a little bit too much. I don't want to go that high in the first one because it gets up there, the wind takes it, starts getting out of control, a lot of speed, and we run into problems. All right, here's the third one. Lines tight, thumbs back. That was perfect. Repeat that about 10 times until you can do it perfectly. Okay, inevitably you're going to find yourself in this situation. Let me show you how to reverse your rev off the ground. Number one, make sure your lines are tight. Number two, if you can tell which lines are on top, that's the handle you want to reverse. To reverse that handle, push that thumb forward. If there's enough wind, it'll roll your rev over. If there's not, you can pull slightly past your hip to roll it over. You're ready to launch. All right, now with your basic launch, stop, and land under control, we'll take it to the next level. The next level is we're going to launch, get some more height, and try to hold that hover. Our goal is a 10-second hover. This is what it looks like. Lines tight, thumbs back, launch. Hold it there. 1, 2, 3. See how it's teetering? That's a little bit of over control with the handles. Try to get a feel for this. 8, 9, 10, and back it down. Excellent job. Now you're on your way to rev mastery. The Supersonic is a Speed Series model, and it's called that for one reason only: it is fast. One of the most important things to do is to be able to control that speed, and the way you do that is with wrist rotation, just like backing your rev back down. The most important skill to be able to have is the stopping skill, and to do that, rotate that thumb forward. This is what it looks like. Flying up, stop. Flying to the side, stop. And most importantly, into the ground, stop. Work on that stopping skill with that thumb pressure and get a feel for how much it takes to stop your rev. You'll be well on your way. When you're done flying for the end of the day, launch your Supersonic and land it nose down. Walk back. Since your rev is nose down, the handle position is trying to fly your rev into the ground. It's very stable in this situation. Now come in behind your rev, grab it by that leading edge again, and just pull it forward into the wind. So the top of your rev is face up. Disconnect your flying lines. And then pair them back together with the lark's head. Do the same on the other side. Okay, we've got our lines set up. Everything's clear as we put them down and we've paired them, so there should be no tangles at this point. Take your pairs and run them into the cleat. One on one pair, one in the other cleat. Take these two pairs and keep them separated. Run your pinky down between the two of them like this, and then grab the whole set. You can see the two pairs are coming out of my hand separated. So now as I wind them in, they'll stay separated all the way back to the handles. Bring it over the winder, down, up, figure 8 style, down, up, down. I'm putting tension on. I'm not putting too much tension on, but I don't want them to be loose going on here, loose like this. I want them with some tension and some nice clarity, and just wind them in. Don't pull your handles towards you. They're on the stake, but don't drag them through the ground. They can wind through each other, causing tangles. And see, my two pairs are separated all the way in. Okay, now we're coming into the last part. As you can see, my lines are still separated into my finger, still doing our figure 8. A lot of people make a mistake here of dragging their handles to them. Their handles can weave in and out of each other, causing tangles. The other thing they do is they lift their handles up off the ground, and the handles can spin around, causing problems too. So I suggest you come down to the handles and separate it to this point. And now you stop maybe 2 feet short, and you take that split that you have and run it up to the cleats. Now you know everything is split to those cleats. There can't be a tangle to those cleats. They're still separated by my fingers. At this point, lift off your handles. Now you have to decide what you want to do here. I usually leave my handles on because I'm too lazy to take them on and off. You can detach them, pair them back together, and put them on the way they come from the factory, or you can just leave the handles on. If you leave the handles on, carefully wind them onto the handles, and then use the shock cord to hold them down. Remember, we wound them in with our fingers, so there are no tangles to that point, so you don't have to really worry about it. When you take them off from here, you can untangle them to the cleat, and then everything will be clear. Okay, let's pack our Supersonic up. Face down into the wind. You always got to be aware of the wind direction. Pull that bottom cap off. Slide the shaft out. Bottom cap off. Slide the shaft out. Same thing on the other side. Pull the end cap off. Reach into the center of the wing and pull on the end. Separate your shaft. I separated it at least an inch, inch and a half, so it doesn't bind. And fold that wing in. See how I'm keeping that leading edge into the wind? Same thing on this side. Pull that cap off, reach into the center, separate that shaft a little bit, fold it in. Straighten your sail, grab your 4 down struts, put them in the leading edge. Nice and carefully, roll it up. Keep those bridles inside, out of the way. Slide in your bag and you're ready to go. Come join us at Revolution Club 38 and let's push your skills to the next level. If you have any questions, give us a call or message us at revkites.com. We'll see you on the field.